Welcome to Booklandia, where we review romance novels.
This and every episode are chock full of oversharing and spoilers. Every episode is rated E for explicit. Hello, Sky.
Hi, Ford. As always in recording in 2022, I'm always like, wait, this is it? That's the whole intro? We're done introing? Yikes. Okay, so, yeah.
My whole, pre-show dance has really cut back to, a single 8 count. I can't do the cartwheel anymore, and the back handspring is also out, and so now it's just, whatever this is.
Someone named no, just hands go like this. Someone name that dance, please. Name that dance. Excited hands. I'm showing off my manicure hands.
I don't do that. So I'm open to any suggestions. Is it a little bit from Bring It On, that choreographer from Bring It On? The one who wore the leather pants?
Yes.
I'm getting some vibes from that. Yeah.
Excellent.
So today we are dressed in our finest Seattle dress code of red and black plaid shirts in order to review Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon.
True story. True story on that.
Also, for those of you watching, you're like, where the fuck are you? I'm very obviously in the Musée d'Orsay because of this Monet painting behind me. This is very clearly an original Monet.
Very clear.
They're all 11 by 11 inches.
Hey, Water Lilies is one of my all-time faves, so good choice.
Hard same. Monet is my second favorite painter.
Ooh.
What up, Remedios Vero?
Okay, there's some art jokes in there. Google those references, y'all. Google those references. Also, I feel like I appropriately used y'all.
You did. It was so smooth I didn't even notice.
You have been officially rubbing off on me. Osmosis is working.
I'm gonna make you some vegetarian Frito pie, and you're gonna lose your mind.
Excellent. But we digress. How are you, other than being at the d'Orsay?
Yes, I'm actually in housing for this show that I'm working on. This wall color, I feel like, is just trying. It's like the understudy for key lime. It's horrific. It's really horrific. And I have every single lamp possible in front of me on my table right now. I'm in a studio and all of the lamps are on this table, just so I'm moderately lit, and that you can definitely see our guest, which is this pimple on my chin. So that's how I'm doing.
Excellent.
How are you?
Good. Well, it's been a bit of a day, and not that I'm promoting day drinking, but immediately following the bit of a day, I did a little bit of pre-gaming, which I feel like very appropriate for this book because they talk about pre-gaming. And then I bring to you, you cannot see it at all. So this is, that's because that's the wrong end of the cup. So this is
on the other side.
There you go. This is a Starbucks cup. It's the only one I have. I bring it forth as another artifact of Seattle to present for this episode, and not because I want Starbucks sponsorship. I wouldn't say no to it, but I'm just saying. I will tell you that there is more drinking inside the cup. This is not tea and coffee.
It's booze. What you're saying is it's booze?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I
that's
feel
not
like
going to get us our Starbucks sponsorship. You need to be drinking a caramel macchiato, a grande caramel macchiato, triple foam, or I don't know. Is that right?
It's triple shot. You were almost there. And it is almost my order. Yes, non-dairy, but
I slow dripped this cup of tea because I don't have a tea ball in this hellscape, in this vomit hellscape. So I used a coffee filter like an adult.
Hey, you do you. As long as you get tea. So that's important. So my point is a little bit that between the red and black plaid and the drinking, this episode might go slightly further off the rails than previously expected. I should also warn everyone that I did not script properly, so my notes are just haikus. So we'll go with whatever comes out of my mouth.
I'm very excited for this, especially if this episode does end up being our season opener. Like, let's just let chaos reign. It's the best.
Seems like an appropriate choice. Okay, shall we?
Cheers to chaos.
Cheers, indeed.
Okay.
Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do.
We shall indeed tell the people, show the people the book cover, tell the people what the book is about.
Okay, so the book cover, super cute. It is a blue cover with raindrops coming down, the words Weather Girl, a yellow umbrella is open, and a pair of pants and booted feet, and a pair of yellow cloud tights and skirted feet are behind the umbrella.
Galoshes. Those are wellies.
Those are wellies. Okay, so they're rain cloud and yellow wellies. Very good. So that's the cover. It's cute. It's very cute. I have a weather-related question about this cover. Her skirt is blowing to camera right, and the raindrops are blowing to camera left. So hard no on the geometry of this, but it's adorable. Also,
the way they're holding the umbrella means they're just getting soaked.
Oh yeah, they are getting so wet.
I bet they are.
Oh, heyo.
All right. You wrote the blurb. Would you like me to read the blurb? Every episode we have to ask.
It's true. We are never consistent. Yeah, I'm sorry already, but yeah, you should definitely do this.
Okay. All right. I'm ready whenever you're ready to count me in.
Excellent. In that case, 3, 2, 1.
Ari is all sunshine and raindrops as she delivers the daily weather forecast on KSEA. This is set in Seattle, by the way, if you didn't know. And underneath, she's living with the daily dose of depression. After her bosses get into a public fight that ends in a defenestrated Emmy Award, Ari teams up with Russell, the sports ball guy, to try and parent trap them back together. Not only does it work to bring the bosses together, but it also ignites the flame between Russ and Ari. She cannot trust the feelings she has developed for Russ, so she must leave him before he gets the chance. Boo. This is a very good blurb.
I was about to say, I actually that is actually what the book is about.
You often don't get to use the word defenestrate.
I was so excited. I was like, defenestrated fits into this. I'm into it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. This book does come out January 11th, 2022, which happens to be tomorrow.
In the land of where we record. Yes. So,
which is exciting.
Yeah, go get the book for sure. Read it and then let us know what you thought, because it's about to get into it. So, as a forewarning, I didn't love it. In fact, I didn't hate it either, which is truly the worst place to be, because if I love it, then I gush over it. If I hate it, then I scream at it. But if I'm like, I don't know, it was okay. It is harder to articulate feelings about stuff. So I'm really looking forward to your questions, because I feel like they dig into stuff, and then mine are a little
Excellent. So, let's just set our listeners up to really enjoy this episode.
So I'm going to start with my first question. It's about periods.
Menstruation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Why not? Let's do it. I used to do that.
Yeah. Yes. So here is, it's not, I feel like it's a plot character. So we usually ask a question about the plot and then we ask a question about the character. And I feel like this is maybe spanning the two. So I sort of love the relationship that Russ has with his ex, with whom he has a daughter, a 12-year-old daughter named Elodie, which, by the way, beautiful name. Elodie is a gorgeous name. So Elodie has been hiding from her parents. She's 12. She's been hiding the fact that she has started her period from her parents because she's embarrassed. And she confides in Ari, and then Ari tells Russ, and then Russ tells Liv, the ex, and the mother of the child.
Ari suggests to Elodie that she needs to tell Russ, and she
says,
"Hey, Russ,
true.
He needs to tell you something." She didn't betray Elodie. Okay.
Oh, fair point. Yes.
But yes, Russ tells Liz, right? Liz, the
ex. So
Liz?
at
the baby mama.
Liz or Liv?
Crap. One of those.
Okay, one of those.
2 out of 3 letters can't be wrong.
Agreed. It's the wordle of the day. Liv and Liz is the wordle of the day. In case you don't know what that is, please Google. So, anyways, my point here is that at the very end of the book, Ari and the mom have a very lovely chat. At no time do they bring up this very significant moment in which Ari was instrumental, and that felt like a missed opportunity. Like, I sort of loved the relationship that Russ and, I'm gonna say, Liz and her husband and their daughter all had. Like, it was very copacetic. They were very happy for each other. They were super protective. I really wanted a Liz, like, if you hurt him, I will cut you moment. And then, like, not a super aggressive one, but to truly be like, these two parents are friends, like genuinely friends with each other, and are raising a child together and are healthy about it. And then I also wanted you're cool because you handled my kids moment. And neither one of those things existed. So I don't really have a question so much as that is my opinion.
Oh, what the hell?
Like, this is this is such a like meaty moment, and we see exes that are bad news bears or just negative like exes that are the example of what this particular character doesn't want. That is not the case here. We see a really healthy relationship with an ex, and I really wanted it to have a more expanded life, and it didn't. So
it's like in the movie version of this book, Liz is played by someone really famous because they only have 3 scenes.
Right, but
it's definitely like Tina Fey, and like she only has to be like cute and quirky 3 times, and then goodbye. You're really right. I think this comes down to a later thing we're gonna hopefully discuss, in that we don't meet Russ's friends. We don't delve into Russ's life at all, and that's a really excellent point. My opinion, my only opinion on everything you just said, is the entire book, I feel like the one joke Rachel Lynn Solomon did not really dive into is that Elodie is a musical theater kid, and no one ever sang, "Elodie, your name is like a song."
Melody.
No,
it's song. I know it's song.
It's the joke. It's the joke. Don't ruin my joke. Anyway,
sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, she did make
funny, and that's all I needed to know.
Perfect. She did make the "This is my song" and "My shot is playing." So
yeah.
Shout out to Hamilton fans in case you missed that particular one.
I was kind of upset about how much they loved Mean Girls, because I do not like Mean Girls at all.
I do, however, want stage right, stage left earrings immediately.
Absolutely. How cute. Absolutely. I think I would make them into little collar
lapel pins. Oh, also great. Yeah, no. In case anyone is like, what should we get him for any kind of holiday? Take note. Stage right, stage left pins and or earrings. Bring it.
So for me, my plot question, by chapter 3, I was curious if we had even met the love interest. Like, I was kind of thinking it, but like, we don't really get any clues that, hey, this is going to be the love interest. There's no like peek behind the curtain. And I just felt like this book started really slow. Like it took 4 or 5 chapters to really get going. When reading romance, do you like meeting the love interest in the first chapter?
So I like full frontal nudity in the first chapter. So,
And that
um,
is why we're friends.
recently I learned this new term called fast burn, which is the inverse of a slow burn, where sex is very forward and then you deal with the feelings after you've already banged it out. I am a full tilt at all times bang it out person, so I do not do a slow burn well. I am impatient and I read romance so that the naked times can happen on the page right away. So no go on slow burn. Hard to agree though that I was like, is Russell the guy we're sleeping with later? Or is there going to be another person we're going to introduce into this? And Russell is just a cute sports dude that does good drinking.
Oh, okay. That's how that sentence ended. Excellent.
I mean,
Yeah, I have to agree. Like when we meet the love interest in the first chapter, I'm like, okay. And it can take a while after that initial meeting for them to hook up. Like as most books, it doesn't happen until the 50% mark, which I think is where it happens in this one. Like that's fine, but I want to know who I'm shipping right off the bat. And this book was interesting because you kind of are not only shipping Russ and Ari, but you're also shipping Torrance and Seth, who are their bosses, that they're trying to parent trap back together. I think now we should probably sidebar and how dare Rachel Lynn Solomon think that the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap is the Parent Trap to reference? It's the OG, like 1960s.
Yeah, no, the original Parent Trap should be the Parent Trap. Is this a generational thing? Like millennials don't know that Lindsay Lohan was the remake?
Do we need to do a poll or something? It's very stressful. It's very stressful. That movie, that Lindsay Lohan movie, Garbaggio, in
comparison.
Like, when you put it beside, the original. Absolutely. So have you read my next question and are you comfortable answering it? I want to ask your consent.
Yeah, you're fine. That's fine.
Okay. So in this book and in all of Rachel Lynn Solomon's books, one of the main characters is Jewish, and in fact, in this one, both of them are Jewish. That's like her whole deal, and I think it's great. This book also had a lot more like Jewish experiences, a lot more holidays and celebrations, which is great to kind of peek behind the curtain. You let me peek behind the curtain sometimes when I can show up, but like Seders and, first Hanukkahs and all of that good stuff. So first question is, how does it make you feel to read Jewish characters? And did it bother you that Russell was Jewish on his dad's side, which most people know that Judaism is from the mother's family line.
Okay. So first answer, how did it make me feel that there are Jewish characters? There is an implication of a Christian character in American literature, right? People are going to do Christmas. Of course. There is going to be Santa. Of course. So the fact that Rachel Lynn Solomon intentionally brings forward the fact that there was one menorah ornament on the Christmas tree is sort of the epitome of being Jewish in America. Like, yes, we all know that the Jewish people exist, but we don't actually do anything to benefit their existence. And the same is true for people of other religions. It is a very Christian country, and so it is great to see it pointed out. And I thought it was hilarious. And I love that the Jewish people are there. I love that you get a transliteration of the entirety of the Shabbat prayer.
Yes.
So in case you were ever
Yes.
wondering how to say the Shabbat prayer or how to light the candles, it's literally in the book.
Mhm.
And like you got that. I love it. I mean, in my head, I read it correctly, or as correctly as I pronounce it, because obviously I'm no expert. But
Is the Shabbat prayer a song like the, prayer at Hanukkah?
okay, that's a great question. So some people don't chant it or sing it. They read it. I've always been taught to chant it or sing it because all the prayers have I can't even explain it without doing it. Like they all have a rhythmic movement to them. And so the movement dictates it and the movement is meaningful itself. And so I always chant it or sing it. I don't ever read it straightforward because that feels really awkward to me. But I've absolutely heard people like deadpan deliver it. And that's great too. I think for me, and this is obviously very personal, the intent behind the prayer is a lot more significant than how well you pronounce it in Hebrew. So that's where I stand is you said the prayer. So you get props for doing that regardless of how you deliver it.
Nice.
And then to answer your second question, did it bother me that Russell is Jewish on his dad's side? So there are two really significantly disparate moments here. Firstly, people believe that nationally you are considered Jewish if the bloodline is on your mother's side, but religiously you can convert to Judaism. And in fact, if you feel like doing it, please do. I'm not converting. I'm just saying that like do what you got to do for your faith. And so if Russell feels himself to be religiously Jewish and only one of his parents is Jewish and that parent happened to be his dad, then he's Jewish, right? He's practicing, he does the prayers, he goes to temple, his kid has a bat mitzvah, like he is I do not find any issue with that. Again, very personal to people, but I think it's awesome that he follows the path of the chosen people, however it leads them there.
Brilliant. Okay, that's what I thought you would say. Glad to know I know you well enough to know what you will say. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of Russell, I feel like we got a really clear understanding of what Ari was going through and a very surface read on Russell. And I know that this is not dual POV, that this is only from Ari's point of view. So, of course, we don't get as much Russell. But I desperately wanted an explanation of what Russell was going through. And I almost wish this was dual.
Yeah, or like, can Rachel Lynn Solomon just write like a bonus scene, like from Russell's point of view? Just one of the scenes from the book, but from his point of view. Just a suggestion, Rachel. We're big fans.
We're big fans, but just like, I need to know what he's going through a little bit more than I understood.
Which is interesting because the end of the book has some like book club questions, like discussion topics, and this is kind of one of those, which I thought was really interesting. Is like you don't if this book was from Russell's point of view, what would his character arc be? And in my head, I answered that question in it's about trusting someone else with your child. Um, and but that's kind of it. Is that kind of all?
I mean, and asking
he's
her
already a nice guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he asked her to validate him. So during their big fight, right? She asks for validation in a inverse way of the way he asks for validation. And
so they have to like figure out how to couple.
Right. They have to figure out how to couple.
I think Ari also boosts his self-confidence because he's a plus-sized man and he has a lot of insecurity about that. And she reaffirms or affirms his sexiness to her. So yeah, like there's nothing really meaty to chomp onto other than he's a good guy. Is he a dream guy? Maybe? He's just already kind of there, fully formed. He just
Yeah.
needs the one left puzzle piece to kind of plop into his perfect life puzzle.
Yeah, a little bit. It feels a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Good eyes. I just kind of get swept up in other things and don't notice that. So I always appreciate your point of view when you're like, hey, this was one-sided. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So the office at KC, or do you say KSEA? I'm gonna say KC.
I mean, I think that's cuter. That's cuter.
Yeah, which is the news channel that they work for. And the office of PPR, which is the talk radio station from this book, The X Talk, felt exactly the same. They both had problematic bosses. They both had a cute coworker. They're both media focused. There was, a couple of friends in the work area. They both had like a kitchen area that had a significant scene in a kitchen area.
Coffee was a big deal.
Coffee was
See?
a big deal. It is Seattle. A quick sidebar. So when we lived in Everett, which is just north of Seattle, my mom worked for a coffee company. It wasn't Starbucks. I can't even remember the name of it. Sorry. But for a while, she worked in one of those drive-through kiosks in a parking lot. And so one day when it was take your daughter to work day, I went and I sat on the counter and she made all these coffees and I just made Italian sodas for myself because there was just like 25 different flavors. Yeah, so I know all about the Seattle coffee scene, y'all.
You just lived in it. Literally, you lived in it.
Lived in it. Her boss used to give me $1 for every good handshake I gave him. And that's how I got really good at handshakes. I have a really good handshake, everybody. Come at me. Anywho, back to my question. Was KSEA, KC, a direct cookie cutter of PPR? Like, is this book almost shot for shot the X Talk?
So I sort of felt that way about the sex scenes and the placement of the sex scenes in the book. That like the structure, if you like tear away all of the dressing, the structure of the story
as you should in a sex scene.
Oh, and they really don't for a while, but this felt really similar. It absolutely did. Yes, it felt really similar. I even feel the whole like leggings and dresses, like the way the character was described had a quirky fashion sense, and it was all like vintage dresses and leggings, and he was more of a conventionally dressed sexy type, though I appreciated all of the like velvet jackets and all of the all of the references to like slightly
like a houndstooth.
Yeah, all of that was lovely. So a little bit more retro on the boy dude, but yeah, and this is maybe
family drama.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I didn't love this one so much, because I already read it when it was the X Talk.
When the cover was pink.
Yeah, instead of blue. I'm sorry. It was cute. It was cute. It just wasn't cute enough. Like, it wasn't different enough from everything else I read. So that's my 2 cents there.
I do feel like this book is quirkier. There are more jokes. I highlighted way more funny sentences and phrases that, spoiler alert, are my most compelling part of the book than I did in the X Talk. I enjoyed this one more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And see, much as I love some weather references, I feel like the relationship talk in the X Talk was the funnier bit to me. Though, again, spoiler for later, there is one really significantly excellent joke. Okay. Here's my question. This is all I wrote. Office sex, is that a thing we want? Because right, this is not the first novel that has some push stuff off the table in a public office setting room
I think about
and get hot and
that
heavy
sex
sort of a thing.
scene at the beginning of, is it Bastards Betrayal by Christina Lauren? It's the first Bastards book.
It's Beautiful Bastard.
Beautiful Bastard, where they have sex against the window in the conference room.
Yeah.
Okay, so to answer your question, office sex, is that a thing we want? Reality forward? Absolutely not. There are boundaries. Fantasy forward. Now, fantasy forward carries a sword and is an excellent fighter and speaks many languages, and she's for it.
Okay. All right. Not sure. Like, I feel like a younger version of me would have been like, bring it.
Mhm.
And current version of me is like, I'm concerned about cleanup and other people. Like, I have repercussions written all over it. Because
that we have now worked in offices and we know how boring they are and not sexy they are. And
possibly
fluorescent lighting does nothing for anyone.
No, not at any time. And like, there's really no true privacy, and there's really no way to like disassociate yourself from the stuff that is your office enough to like lose yourself in the moment.
I like the making a memory kind of part. Like, oh, he's always going to think about that time we banged on his desk. Like, that's appealing, but I don't know that it outweighs the now, as someone who has a home office, that might be an excellent option.
You do you, just mute the mic. Or don't, your choice, I guess.
No open Zooms.
There you go. No open Zooms.
More embarrassing than peeing with your mic open.
Hard agree. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of books that do it, and I feel like real life me would have a hard time escaping out of my surroundings into the element. But I guess it's a nice escape, and that's sort of the point.
Yeah. That's why we read these things.
Yes. All right, let's take a break here. We're going to take an intermission. When we come back, we will discuss our favorite moments from the book and if this book made us want to get naked. And we're back.
I just read your notes for the second half. Delightful.
Right. And we're back, and we're talking about Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. It's like Foo Fighters and not the Foo Fighters. Also, please never the Foo Fighters.
It's like Ukraine and the Ukraine.
I have so much to say about that.
Very wrong. Although, where do you stand on I-5 and the 5?
Ooh, I say the 5.
405 and the 405.
Yeah, I say the 5 because California, but it was a learned behavior from living in California.
Right, because when you're in Colorado,
it's definitely I-80 or I-70.
Okay, now you all know where we're from.
Or at least where we've lived enough to know the big interstates, and that they're interstates in some states and the whatever in some other states.
Because in California, they're fucking iconic, darling.
I love that. All right, so let's talk about compelling moments in this book.
In the book, you mean?
In the book. So, should I start, or do you want to start?
Please. One of your compelling moments is my all-time favorite moment in this book.
Okay, so this is genuinely a hilarious joke and worth mentioning. And so, at some point, Ari is talking about a shredder that her mom's office got. And when it is shredding paper, it plays electric guitar. So it shreds while it shreds.
Wow. Wheelie wee.
And that would crack me up many times before it got old.
I laughed out loud, like I cackled, and I am not an out loud laugher, just like that. And I put the book down, and then I picked the book back up, and then I turned to my spouse and I read it to him, and he's like, "That is most excellent." If this is a thing that exists, when my shredder from the 1990s finally kicks the bucket, we are probably buying Shredder the Shredder.
Shredder the Shredder. It is truly excellent. So I enjoyed that very much. It was such a specific and such a tiny detail, but it was hilarious.
So good.
It absolutely was. Now, the other scene that I really liked, and I feel like there's a similar scene in the X Talk. It's not quite the same. And I actually have some notes on this scene, and I wish it went further in terms of discussions of what they did. But the first sexual encounter between Russ and Ari doesn't go as planned. So he tries to bring her to orgasm, and she gets too far in her head, and she can't. And she tells him so. And he tells her that he would very much like for her to have an orgasm. And so his plan for it is for her to pleasure herself and for him to just be present with it, which is an excellent idea, by the way. If this is your first time with a partner, they are not very responsive to you just from a physical standpoint, an awesome idea. Like from a sex ed standpoint, please, yes, do more. Show your partners how you like to pleasure yourselves. It's a great plan. So I was really excited to see that scene existing. But then they proceed with it, and ultimately they end up both pleasuring themselves, coming to completion. It's a great idea. Coming to completion is actually redundant. I just realized it's like ATM machine. The coming is all we need to hear.
in the like typed up part of this, is it CUMING or COMEING?
I mean, if it's the O, then my sentence is then my sentence is correct. If it's the UMING, then my sentence is redundant. But either way, they both come. It's great. They have a great time with it. I almost wish that there was even more conversation in that scene about what's happening, how they like it, what's working for them when they're pleasuring themselves versus when the other person was doing so. It really validates that that being sex, because they do count that as their first sexual encounter together. And that's great and wonderful. And I thought that was fantastic. So props on excellent sexual discovery is what I would say.
Yeah. I think I agree with you that the sex scenes were a little muted, little Vaseline on the lens, a little waxing poetic, and not extremely explicit. And I did want a little bit more detail. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree. I think my favorite moment in the book, as I mentioned before, is kind of just how funny Rachel Lynn Solomon is. I highlighted so many funny things, and I'm going to read you my favorites. Quote, you've convinced me. I'll go to a sports. I mean, this is literally how we talk.
Hard agree. I know. When she said sports ball, I was like, wait, you know sports ball? I know sports ball.
I've heard about sports ball. Excellent. Did sports win? This is another quote. Did sports win? So good. And then lastly, wondering how it's possible to be this turned on in a mall that still has a Sears. Just chef's kiss brilliance. I want to be this dryly hilarious. Goals. Hashtag goals. So I guess my favorite part was all the little parts in between the big parts.
Yes. That makes sense.
The quotable quotes. All right. What was your hot take?
So I mean, my hot take is I don't know.
Sure.
Read this so you can compare it to the other ones, I guess. It does feel like it maybe fits into a series with X Talk of women working in entertainment. Media outlet ladies kicking it.
Are we? Oh my God! Is the next book gonna be Elodie's theater teacher? Wait, that doesn't quite track.
No, it has to be further away. It has to be further away. I don't think they're all connected. Unless
right.
Javier's restaurant is where everybody goes together.
I got it. It's a newspaper. That's the only media we haven't covered. A newspaper magazine.
True.
Excellent. A theater magazine. I nailed it. We got it. TCG. All right. Well, okay. Maybe this can help you figure it out. I would like to do a Rachel Lynn Solomon bracket.
Is this a sports thing?
You have to choose. I believe it's a sports thing, but also they do it for like fucking candy and
that was slow clap for you and sports ball. All right, so March Madness bracket, since March is probably when this is gonna get released. This is perfect.
Basketball, right? That's
yes,
basketball.
It's basketball.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 Rachel Lynn Solomon titles. You pick your favorite between them, and we'll go through the 4 books that we've read of hers out of the 6 that she has total. All right. Weather Girl or The X Talk?
The X Talk.
Okay. The X Talk or We Can't Keep Meeting Like This?
Ooh. Oh, tough one. The X Talk.
It's a hard bracket. Okay. The X Talk or Today, Tonight, Tomorrow?
Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. It's not a hard bracket if I already know the winner.
I know, I kind of set it up that way. Last one. This is the loser's bracket. Weather Girl or We Can't Keep Meeting Like This?
I think I like Weather Girl. So I think for me it goes, We Can't Keep Meeting Like This, Weather Girl, X Talk, Today, Tonight, Tomorrow.
Excellent. That's where I was going to summarize. Okay, fantastic. I think for me, it goes, We Can't Keep Meeting Like This as the biggest loser. The X Talk, Weather Girl, Today, Tonight, Tomorrow.
Interesting. You like Weather Girl better than the X Talk, and I'm the opposite.
Yes.
But both of us agreed that Today, Tonight, Tomorrow is the most excellent. Hands down.
I will never give this book away. This book is a forever shelfer. Forever shelfer.
Nice. So how excited are you for her next novel?
Am I screaming internally? Yes. Am I screaming outernally? Also yes.
Outernally?
Yeah.
Oh, please make that a real thing. Okay. Very good.
Not actually. Okay. All right. So I think we kind of know where we're going here, but did this book make you want to get naked?
It didn't necessarily make me want to get like... So I feel like there's 2...
Just the top half?
I feel like just the top half. No, there's like 2 stations in Get Naked for me. There is a Get Naked and Get It Done version, which may or may not include a partner, but definitely requires immediate release. TMI, maybe, but there you go. And then there is a, this is really cute with my partner present. This would be cute. And I feel like that's like a prolonged, like, wait for it moment. This was a, I'll wait for it, but it seems like a cute idea situation. Mostly, I just wanted to, like, put on an oversized t-shirt and socks and maybe try hot chocolate by the fire. I'm making this face because hot chocolate is too sweet for me and I do not care for it.
Oh my God. How have we been friends this long and I'm just learning that you don't like hot chocolate?
No, but the Italian dark, like, drinking chocolate.
What about the dark? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
like
drinking chocolate.
Code.
Yeah, no, exactly. A drinking chocolate and I are best friends, but an American hot chocolate with marshmallows is a sugary whatnot.
I'm sure do you have a whole TED Talk on American chocolate?
Yes. Hard yes.
Okay. Then, like, we've come to the crux of the problem. American chocolate is known to suck. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't like the dark chocolate, so you can come drink all the dark chocolate packets in the back of my tea drawer.
Done. Tell me when, and I am there for it.
Excellent. Well, when the recording shed is completed.
Perfect.
You will come to the recording shed. Okay. Did this book make me want to get naked? No, it just made me giggle, and I was charmed. I was charmed, and charm doesn't turn me on. Or my own self-charm doesn't turn me on. So, it was not sexy. I needed more explicit sex scenes. I mean, I was maybe more into Ari than I was into Russ as well, for being a, like, fairly heterosexual person. Like, I should be really into the male person.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it didn't make me want to get naked. Oops. Said it. There, I said it.
All right. I'm still trying to process you being more interested in the female identified character.
I know.
I'm gonna need some time with that.
She was cute. Like, she was quirky, and, like, she's wittier than I am. Like, that's, like, a good sense of humor goes a long way for me, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I had some questions as to her, like, broken elbow sex mobility, but I feel like there was some, like, superhuman elbow strength happening, but short of that, yeah, no, I want the outfits, I want the earrings.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I really wanted to, like, send her a memo that said, "Girl, stop buying vibrators that run on AA batteries or AAA batteries.
Oh my God.
Rechargeable. Go for rechargeable toys." Okay, this is the soapbox and the PSA and the TED Talk.
Okay.
Waterproof, rechargeable toys are the way of the future. Please jump on that bandwagon. So,
here. I have so many weird fucking cords
same.
that only go to sex toys that, like,
and even if they're from the same company, they're not matching. Like, you can't. Nope.
No. I have to say, the most, I guess the smartest electronic I have is one of my vibrators that does that, like, contact charging. My
same.
phone
I have one of
doesn't
those.
contact charge.
My phone does contact charge, but I do not use the phone contact charge, but I do use the toy contact charge, because you must.
You have to. Oh
you
my
have
God.
to.
I am 100% with you on that. Now, I will say the, like, him stripping her down scene was pretty hot.
It was interesting. I mean, I'm a much more forward person than she is. So when she's like, this is really hot, but I don't want to impose, and I'm also on Vicodin, I would have been the person who's like, I am definitely going to impose. I am on Vicodin. Bring it. Right. I was like, no, this is exactly when you're like, brazenly show him your boobs, because then you can blame it on Vicodin if you really didn't, if, like, it didn't go the way you planned it.
Okay, that made it feel a little weird.
I agree.
To, like,
agree.
Blame it after the fact, just to know what you want going into it, which is, I think, okay. That
okay,
but I'm like,
no, I agree. I agree. My point. It's a bad point, but my point was that, like, if he's like, I'm not into this, I could be like, oh, okay, well, it's me with a shot of Vicodin in my system. So, tone that down all the way back to normalcy and it'll be fine. But I fully agree that you should you should own your actions and not blame them on the medications you were put on. So yes, what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. That did remind me, one of the things we haven't even touched on is that a big part of this book is that Ari deals with very serious depression. And I am a mildly depressive person. And so I don't know, it felt interesting. Wait, what? Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that we just swerved from here are my Vicodin laced boobs to here is my very serious conversation about dealing with a daily dose of depression. Please continue. I do not mean to laugh at you or at her at all. But I was just like, that is a turn.
Let me walk you down the garden path of my brain. Vicodin is a medication. She is also on antidepressants, which you have to be very careful about what medications you mix those with. And here we are at the depression part of this story.
Understood. I'm sorry. I was just like, whoa, left turn. I was over here in party mode, and you went over there into very decent conversation about very important things. Well done, you.
Thank you. I am that person at a party. So I guess it's just important to know as a content warning that this book talks about depression, and Rachel Lynn Solomon, there is a content warning in the beginning of this book, so please read that. And I found it really interesting because like I have a mild depression, and so it only is triggered by events or things that happen to me. And so it's interesting to me to read books and experience other people's forms and shapes of their depression and use it kind of as a barometer for my own. I don't know. She also like described it in a very beautiful way, and it wasn't an overbearing. I wasn't pulled down by Ari's depression. So that's all I wanted to say on that.
No, full agree. I was worried that because sometimes descriptors of really dark days put me in that headspace, and it didn't. Like it acknowledged and validated the existence of dark days, and that they don't really have any rhyme or reason. Sometimes they just arrive because brain chemistry is brain chemistry, and it just changes at times. But it did so in a way that explained what was happening to Ari without me somehow immediately like applying those descriptors to myself and then feeling really heavy in the moment. And other books have not been as graceful at doing that. So I absolutely agree that yes, it illustrated what was happening to Ari and gave us an in to that person's depressive days, but not been like, this is your depression. Hang with it. And it was very good.
Yeah, it's an interesting, it feels like she's like, this is just the shape of one person's possible depression, and depression has all these different forms, which is really, I think, appreciated. I'm into it. I mean, in a like observational way, not in a like everybody should
have depression.
That feels weird.
Everybody shape your depression. Groom your pubes, shape your depression.
Just cut it right there. Just cut the whole episode right there. Done. We're done. Night, everybody.
We might have to, because I'm now laugh crying about it.
I'm happy with that.
All right. That will be the meme of that is the meme of me. Excellent. All right. Well done, me. Joy to the world. Happy weather girl, everyone.
Happy weather girl to you.
Thank you for joining us for an episode of Booklandia.
For more Booklandia, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at l.skyford, Twitter at skyfordl, and hit up our blog, lskyford.com.
We love you to the moon and back, so don't forget to rate and subscribe.
Our eternal thanks for the audio editing and support provided by Finnegan Murphy, who you can find on Twitter at Finnegan1, that's FIONNEGAN, numeral 1, and sometimes Sky herself.